being able to identify and understand our emotions is a huge part of our awareness. But so often we have a hard time really getting down to the core of what it is that we are actually feeling. This is a visual representation of an internal exercise that I did with myself in order to gain clarity on what my emotional state more accurately was. First, I identified what the sensation was in my body, how was I feeling physically, and to give it as best a name as I could. So feeling that it was some kind of fear. Then to mentally go through if this emotion could be interpreted by my five senses, what would that be like? So what was the visual that came to my mind of how this emotion felt in my body? That it had kind of this melting, heavy, globular sort of form, this sickly green, and that there would be these sharp, razor-thin edges within it that I could get myself cut on. And the smell of it was this dank, rotting seaweed kind of smell. That smell that is so heavy and strong that you can actually taste it. And the sensation of ice cold water dripping from the crown of my head through my hair and down my face. That this is how this emotion was being interpreted in these various formats, and that it had a sharp, tinny kind of sound. But then to realize that fear was the overarching emotion, but more accurately what I was feeling was dread. But then to consider, what is an emotion I would rather feel more of? What is the emotion that has the ability to transmute this dread? And for me, it was peace. That peace could look at dread and acknowledge it and say, I understand that you are trying to protect me, but it is okay that you can rest and you can be at peace. So then to go through this entire process of the five senses with peace. What does peace look like as interpreted by my eyes? That it would have a light blue color, that it would have this airiness and this lightness to it, that it's only soft and round edges, that it would have the smell of baking sugar cookies, again to the point where I can taste it. And the sound of it would be what you would imagine walking through a woods, to have the rustle of the wind in the tree leaves and to have the sound of birds in the distance. That this is how peace resonates with all of my senses. And so to go through a process of this mental exercise, and for me as a visual artist, to then carry this to the creation of these emotions, helped me really gain clarity as to what I was feeling, but then also to process what it was I was feeling and why. And so this is one of the kinds of exercises that I take people through to help them gain clarity as well, and to also realize these associations that we do tend to build between an emotion and a visual or a smell. Any of these things, that this is how we start building some of our own personal language of symbols. So if you would like to go through this exact same kind of process, feel free to message me and we will interpret your emotions.